call yourself a man? You know you're a lying, low-life, motherfucking gambling degenerate prick. You know that's what you are?
Well, hello you degenerate fucks, and welcome to The Degenerate Gambler. It is Thursday the 24th of February, and just back with another episode looking at last week, looking ahead to this week's bets. So let's just get straight into it. Last week, I did manage to get one bet up. It wasn't my bet, it was the Sky Bet boost, which was Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea. It was a 3-1 bet, got back 40, £10 maximum bet. But that basically covered most of the weekend. I think I gambled about 50, so it was 10 or down. But not bad. I had a couple of close calls on Sunday, but Saturday wasn't really that great. So I'll run through them quickly. My main bet was Arsenal to win. They did. Villa, they didn't. They lost 1-0. Forest Green drew. Gateshead won, and then Kidderminster match was abandoned because of the weather. The overs bet, Southampton Everton was 2-0. Derby Portsmouth was only 1-0. Carlisle Swindon was 3-0. Charlton Oxford 4-0, and then Stockport Woking was 1-0. So terrible there. Only 2 right out of 5. My evening bet was Real Madrid. They won 3-0. AZ Alkmaar, they won. PSG were beat. Roma and Verona over twos. It was 2 each. In the Maidenhead Boreham Wood game, both the score, it was 1-0. It was an early goal too, so I thought that one would have been good. Basel to win, they did, and then Steaua Bucharest, they drew 1 each, so the evening bet wasn't close either. Sunday, some of these bets were very similar because I did fancy them. So once the bet was beat, I kind of reloaded with some other selections. So I first did a wee £3 bet on a 13-fold over 1.5. I'll not run through all the games, but 10 of them were up. 3 were beaten, obviously. And then the first bet that I did was Ludogorets over 2.5, which was 6-5. Great price. That was 3-0. Leipzig to win plus over 2.5. That was up. Barca over 2.5. That was up. Young Boys over 2.5. That was up. And the one that beat it was Salzburg, and I can't remember who they were playing, but both teams have scored. Salzburg actually scored 2 goals late on, I think in the 87th and in the 96th minute. They won 2-0, so that beat that. But that was early, so what I did was I then put the games that hadn't played, which was Leipzig and over 2s, Barca, Young Boys, excuse me. I put those 3 in, and then added a couple of the 1.5 selections that hadn't played yet, which was Bilbao, which was up, Wolves, which was up, and then the other one that beat that was POAK, PAOK, whatever you call them, they're a Greek team. It was 0 each. So like I said, again, one beat that, being that it was 0 each. The rest of that was up. So say frustrating, but at least that £40 Sky Bet special touched, means it didn't really lose much. Plus I had that bet that I won on Thursday night, so I had a free weekend anyway, where I didn't have to put any of my own money in. So I'll get on to, before going to this week's bets, on to the favourites. So in the Premier League last week there was 10 games Saturday, Sunday. 6 favourites won. There was 1 draw and 3 outsiders. In the Championship there was 10 games. There was only 3 favourites, 2 draws and 5 outsiders, which, if you listen every week, you'll know that's not uncommon. The Championship being so unpredictable. 5 outsiders won. League 1, there was only 8 games because of postponements. 5 favourites, 1 draw and 2 outsiders. In League 2, there was 9 games, again a couple postponed, and it was all the 3s. It was 3 favourites, 3 draws, 3 outsiders. And then lastly, National League. National League was only 6 games survived, and it was 3 favourites, 1 draw and 2 outsiders. Now I'll pick one league here, the Championship, just to sort of give you an idea of these 5 outsiders. So Fulham were beaten by Huddersfield, who were 17-2. Bristol City beat Middlesbrough. They were 5-2. Who else here? Let me see. Luton beat West Brom. They were 12-5. Reading beat Preston. They were 4-1. So that, there you go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of the outsiders there. Do you know what I mean? The other one was a close. They were favourites, but not by much. So do you know what I mean? That's crazy. Just crazy, to be honest with you. So yeah, that championship. And last week I kind of did a free bet where I might do the same this week. Try and pick a couple of shocks out and throw a small amount on them. Because they're there. You know, this week looking at the big prices, Newcastle are a big price. Newcastle are 2-1. Reading are a big price again, and so are Mansfield. And in that bet that I did last week, I had Mansfield in it, who went 1-0 up, and they got him on sent off and then conceded, so that kind of beat the bet. But I do think that's worth, if I get a wee free scratch of the day bet from William Hill, I might do that again. I might stick that on as a treble. Just to say, the shocks out there. Sometimes if you can pick the right ones, you'll make a few quid. So anyway, I'll get on to my bets for this week. So main bet, I haven't done the decimal odds for these, so if you do your bets in decimal and you understand decimal and you don't understand fractional, sorry, but you can work it out. It's easy enough. There's apps to do it for you. So the first team I've went for is Forest. Forest are at home to Bristol City, who had a big result last week. They're 4-5. Looking at the fixtures and the form and stuff, Forest are like mid-table 10th. Bristol City 16th. Bristol City only 6 points out of the last 5. Forest only 8. So Forest form not great. But in home form, Forest they drew again against Stoke in their last home game, but they'd won the 4 previous games, and they've beaten Bristol City the last 2 times they played them at home. Bristol City's away form is 4 defeats and a draw in the last 5. They've lost their last 2 against Swansea and Blackpool. So even though they've picked up a wee bit of form and they had a good result last week, their away form is not great. So that's the first one. Next one is Portsmouth. Portsmouth play Fleetwood and at home, and they are 3-4. Looking at the form there, Portsmouth 8th, Fleetwood 16th. Portsmouth 9 points, Fleetwood 4. Home form, Portsmouth won their last 2. They had 2 defeats before that, and then they won the game before that. But 2 defeats 2 wins in a row at home is promising. And looking at Fleetwood's away record in the last 5, they were beaten by Cheltenham, another team who's not doing the best, 2-0. Then they had a draw, a defeat, a win, a draw. So very patchy there. So that's the second one. Next, I'm going into the National League on a team I've picked a brief few times this season, which is Boreham Wood. Boreham Wood currently sitting 3rd, and they are home to Eastleigh, who are 14th. Price on that one is 8-13. Looking at the form, Boreham Wood's form has dipped a bit, but they have got 10 points in the last 5, and Eastleigh only have 3 points in the last 5. Boreham Wood's home record, very good. They have 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5 at home. One of those was a cup game. Eastleigh's away record, 4 defeats and a draw in the last 5, including the last 2 were defeats. So that's that one. The price on that one's 8-13. I can't remember whether I said that. Next, I go to staying in the National League, and a team I backed a lot at the start of the season. Their form dipped a bit, but they seem to be on the up again, and that's Wrexham. And Wrexham are at home to Aldershot. Wrexham currently sitting 5th, and they are 5th in form, 10 points from 5 games. Aldershot only 5 points. Now Wrexham's home form most of the season wasn't great. They were getting a lot of points away. Even now, they've played 11 games at home and they've only got 20 points. And Aldershot have a decent away record. They've actually got 20 points in 14 games away. But when you look at the recent form, so in Wrexham's last 5, they have 4 wins and 1 draw. They beat Boreham Wood, who's going well, their last home game, 3-0. They drew the game before that, and they won the previous 3 before that. So Wrexham have got, so what's that? That's 12. That's 13 points out of the last 15 at home. Do you know what I mean? So they've only got 20 points all season at home. but they've got 13 of those in the last 5 games. I think that sort of says that their home form is on the up. Now, all the shots away form isn't bad. They lost the last game away to Grimsby. The one before that, then the drew, the drew. So their form is, for an away team who is sort of bottom half of the table, 2 wins and a draw in 3 isn't bad. So my bet in there is basically just that. I think Wrexham are on the up and they're pushing up the table, looking to get promoted. So that's that one. That price is 8 to 15. And then my last one isn't in England or Scotland. It's actually Juventus. Juventus is the only away game I've picked here. Juventus are away to Empoli. Juventus, again, not been great all season. They're currently 4th. They're 5th in form. Empoli are 19th in form, only 3 points from 15. Juventus 9 points. Juventus' away record pretty good all season. Empoli have the 17th worst home record. In recent form, Empoli's home, they drew their last game. They lost 3 before that, and then they beat Udinese in the 5th game before that. Juventus away, a lot of draws, 3 draws in a row away, which includes obviously Villarreal the other night, which was Champions League, so that's a decent result. But the 2 that they drew before that was AC Milan and Atalanta, 2 good teams. Looking at this, they've beat Empoli the last 4 times they've played them away from home. So that's my thinking there. And the price on that one is 13 to 20. So in total, that comes to about just under 12 to 1. It's 11.8 to 1. So that'll get you about 128 back for your tenner. Okay, now we'll move on to the overs. I always say it's just do the score against each other or the scoring recently. Some good prices in here. And the overs haven't been great. Obviously, I got that bet up on Thursday night, but in the league, they haven't been great the last 4 or 5 weeks, so hopefully that can change. So run through these quickly. The first one is Brentford versus Newcastle, 11 to 10. Barnsley versus Middlesbrough, 11 to 10. Bournemouth Stoke, 10 to 11. Barrow Harrogate, 43 to 40. And Southend Solihull Moors, even money. That one, I can't remember. I think that paid 33 or 30. Let me see. Yeah, 33.9 to 1. So basically 34 to 1. So that's a big for a fiver. That's going to get you in the 150s. So that's it with the bets. As I say, I'll be placing them shortly. Just a quick look at next week. Not a lot of football on midweek next week. There's no Champions League, no Europa League. So it's kind of like a wee smattering of games. 1 or 2 in each league. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do betting ways. I might, do a bit of a roller bet where I pick 1 or 2 from each night and just let it roll. Because looking at it, so Tuesday night there's, Tuesday night is that's actually the 1st of March. Tuesday night there's 1 Premier League game, which is Burnley Leicester. There's a Championship game. There's 5 League 1 games, 7 League 2 games, and then 4 National League games. Some National League North, a couple of FA Cup games. They must be replays, are they? No, it isn't. Actually, it's the next round. And then there's a lot of cup games around Europe: French Cup, German Cup, Italian Cup, a couple of Scottish lower league games. So Tuesday night there might be enough for a bet, but then on Wednesday there's just a National League North game, 3 FA Cup, and then those cup games again. So German, French, Coppa Italia, and there's a La Liga game, a Copa del Rey game. So all in all, probably only about 10, 15, maybe 15 games. And then Thursday is even worse. So there's 1 FA Cup game, a Copa del Rey, a couple of Swiss League. So it's not a full week of football the way it's been the last couple of weeks. But there'll be enough there to get something. So anyway, that's it for today. That just leaves me to say, if you are doing a bet this weekend, good luck and happy punting.
Here, get the fuck out of here. Here, thanks. Let me find out you fucked up. I'll leave you wherever I find you.